And that is Aptitude 11. Good enough for me. Hey guys, it's Cheat. Today let's go from level 0 to level 200 skinning. Skinning is probably the easiest gathering skill to master, but there's a faster way to go about it. Let me show you how. We have 3 routes. One is in First Light, the next is in Weavers Fen, and the final one is over in Ebonscale. On the Ebonscale route, I'll be showing you 2 ways to get there, depending on whether or not you've completed the Brimstone questline. I recommend you take Tanner's Discipline on your skinning knife. It's not required, but it's just nice to have. It'll go a little bit faster. Now, given that this is a level-dependent skill, being that the higher level creatures that will give you more efficient skinning XP are higher level, being a higher level character will very much help. However, you can take any one of these routes and take it all the way to level 200 with a little bit of grind. So let's go ahead and get into it. We're going to start off on Stage 1 in First Light in the southeast of Eternal. Alright guys, let's get you from level 0 to level 50 skinning. And we have a really interesting way to do it. Nobody goes to First Light, so we're on the eastern coast of First Light at what's not a named place, but these are all called Full Moon Wolves, so we're going to call this Full Moon Cave. Here is First Light, here's where we are. We're going to kill them all. Move over here, kill some pigs, move back, and they should all respawn. Now there's a large number of them here, and they all give about 100 XP each, so this will be the fastest way to get there. We're going to attack them with a low level weapon, pull them into a large group, and then burn them down at once and skin them all at once. Here we are. Now these are giving about 100 a wolf, which gives us about 500 a pull, or more, depending on how much you're comfortable pulling. If you're low level, you can do them one by one. It'll be a little slower, but it'll give you the same effect roughly. Aim better than I can. One large pull. Inside of this cave, there is some silver on the right, some iron on the left, and some saltpeter all over the ground, if you are so inclined. Throughout this entire area, there are a number of blueberry bushes as well, and some squash all over the ground. So, we're going to repeat. We're going to grab another large group of wolves. And we're going to burn them all down at once. And here's some squash if you want it. And continue working your way east until we see pigs. Now over here are a number of pigs. We're going to go ahead and grab some of these. Same method. We want to gather as much as we're comfortable with and burn them down. If you're low level, you may want to take them on one by one like that. We're going to grab 1, maybe 2 groups of pigs and then move back to the wolf, and they should start respawning. Over here there's a bunch of hyssop if you're inclined to get it. As you can see it over there in the distance. Let's kill 1 more pig, and we're going to move back after we go a little bit south and work our way up. Alright, let's start heading back to the west. We'll kill everything on the way. Gratuitous, I know. And we'll start grabbing up these wolves as a corrupted zone spawns in. Great timing. Even with a corrupted zone here, the wolves should still spawn. Here we are, large group of wolves. Burn them down. Work our way back to the cave. And we're back where we started. We're going to keep doing this cycle until we're level 50. It's time to go from 50 to 100. We're going to start here in Weavers Fen. We're going to follow this road west and start out at Mallory's Refuge. We're going to cycle between the bears at Slobbering Cave and a wolf den to the north. Alright, so we're going to make it to the road. We're going to go across the bridge. We're going to take a right immediately. So after the bridge, we're going to start heading northwest through the field. And this giant ball on the ground kind of marks where we're going. While we're here, we're going to grab the deer and the wolves. We're going to group the wolves like we do at any other point. If you're lower level, you may have to take on fewer at a time, and that's fine. You'll get slightly more experience for the alpha wolf over here in the cave. We're going to continue down through here. We're going to take out any deer along the way. We're going to be heading to the southwest towards this bear cave. Now we're going to start with the big bear in the cave and the deer around it. Alright, we're going to continue south, picking up deer and bear along the way. Headshots up a lot with taking these guys down. If you're a lower level, you may have a harder time and it may take a few more shots to do. Once we hit this road, we're going to start heading back to the east. I like to kill the turkeys in the way, It pads out the time and it gives us a little bit of experience, just so we're not doing nothing. Let's try and keep with that road on our right side and follow the edge. There's the road there. We got a deer here. And let me show you a little trick here. If you're melee only, you can take out the deer. You just got to be careful about it. You run up behind them, and you just kind of boop them on the butt. As long as you keep out of their line of sight, you should be fine. May take some maneuvering and waiting, but it's very possible to do. Alright, once we get to this edge here, where we can see the star metal, usually up here on the edge, we're going to start heading back north. Again, we're going to engage the bear and the deer along the way. We're going to work our way up till we get to the edge of the road, and we should have one final deer up here. Once we can see that road, we're going to start heading back to the west. And once we're here, we're going to start heading back to the north, to the wolf cave, and we're going to repeat the process. And we can already see wolves, and that big ball is a marker. And we're going to start gathering them up and repeat the process. We're going to keep doing this cycle until we hit level 100. Alright, we're going to take you from level 100 to level 200 skinning. We're going to do this in Ebonscale Reach. We're going to start out at the Lover's Shrine. We're going to head up here to the northern part of Skysong Lake. If you have Wakala Alwaha, you can travel to the southeast and get here a lot faster. But we're going to be doing it from Lover's Shrine. Let's go ahead and get into it. So, from Lover's Shrine, we're going to head straight north till we see a road. We're going to take a left on the road, follow it across this bridge. Ignore everything along the way. Once we're across this bridge, immediately take a right and follow the edge of this river. Lake. It's a lake. There's a painting right over there, if you are so inclined to grab it. When we start seeing the pink trees, we know we're almost there. Once you start seeing this building, you're going to see a road to the left of it. Follow the road. Don't actually go into here. Continue following this road and you'll see the start of our route. Now, I'm going to show you how this looks from Brimstone. Here's the run from Brimstone at Wakala. We're going to just head straight east from here. We're going to go under these rocks a little bit so that we can meet up with the first group of wolves right over here. And our run begins right there, at that crossroads. Alright, we're going to go ahead and start grabbing the things that we want to harvest. We're going to be focusing on pigs and wolves here. And as you can see, they give us about 1100 XP each. Now, depending on your level and your gear, you may want to grab more or less than I'm going to here, but this is generally the route we're going to run. We're going to head east along this coast and grab things as we come through. There's an earthshell turtle here if you want it. Over here, when we reach the graveyard, we're going to keep on south side of it and kind of go around it to avoid the ghosts. Again, hug that river most of the way. Once we reach this village over here, we're going to be at the end of where we want to go. Aim better than I do, please. Now this village here is where we're going to stop, and we're going to start heading up along the mountain edge. Again, grab as many as you're comfortable with, and then burn them down. Once you've made it to the graveyard again, we're going to start heading back south. We're going to follow this road to the west. You will almost inevitably pick up this ghost, just ignore it until you get where you're going. Now pull as many as you're comfortable with. If you don't want to use ranged, you can just run up by them, and the wolves will aggro to you. It is generally a lot easier to use a gun, though. Now we're going to go up to the graveyard, and then we're going to follow it around and pick up everything on the way. Again, following the outside of the graveyard. We're going to be heading west and then northwest a little bit. Once we're over here, we start seeing these pink trees again. We're going to burn these down and then start heading south. Again, pink trees, head south. And it'll bring us back to the beginning of our loop, and everything should start respawning. An interesting note here is that this area is so efficient, it's where I've started doing my own aptitude farming. And as you can see, everything is now respawning. We're going to continue this until we're at level 200. I know skinning isn't the hardest thing to level, but I hope this helped. If it did, please let me know in the comments and maybe share it with a friend. Skinning pairs very well with harvesting, especially if you're going to work into armoring, and you can learn more about harvesting in this video here. Now, these are higher level creatures. You may run into some problems. Like that. You guys have a great day.